somewhere far from the explosions in Ukraine, far from drone strikes and missile impacts, another battlefield is quietly taking shape. It is not visible on satellite images of destroyed cities. It does not trend on social media. And yet, this battlefield may decide how long Russia can sustain war under pressure. In the last few days, Russia quietly announced something that barely registered in Western headlines, but immediately caught the attention of NATO planners. 3 new aircraft programs, 2 military transport platforms, 1 civilian aircraft with deep military implications. On the surface, it looks harmless: logistics, cargo, passenger aviation. But wars are not won by fighter jets alone. They are won by who can move forces, replace losses, and sustain pressure longer than the enemy expects. The announcement came from the Ulyanovsk region during what appeared to be an ordinary live Q&A session. The regional governor confirmed plans to begin production of 2 wide-body transport aircraft at the Aviastar plant, a key facility in Russia's aviation industry. This was not an isolated regional initiative. According to the governor himself, the issue had already been discussed directly with President Vladimir Putin. Even more telling was what came next. Aviastar is set to undergo large-scale technical re-equipment, the purchase of modern industrial machinery, and a massive workforce expansion, growing from around 12,000 employees to nearly 20,000. This is not maintenance. This is not modernization for prestige. This is industrial mobilization. Aviastar already services Russia's heaviest military airlifters and produces upgraded IL-76 MD-90A aircraft for the Russian military. This means the expansion is not speculative, it is operational. When Russia expands an aviation plant of this scale during an ongoing war, it is not thinking in months, it is thinking in years. NATO understands this very well. Logistics aircraft do not make headlines, but they are the backbone of sustained warfare. Without them, even the most advanced weapons become irrelevant. The first aircraft announced is the IL-276, a medium military transport aircraft designed to replace several aging Soviet-era platforms that are increasingly unreliable. For years, Russia has faced a dangerous capability gap between light transports and heavy airlifters. The IL-276 is designed to close that gap. Originally developed jointly with India, the project continued independently after India withdrew. Instead of canceling it, Russia fully nationalized the program. The result is a transport aircraft fully under Russian control, free from foreign supply chains and political leverage. The IL-276 shares the same fuselage cross-section as the heavier IL-76, despite being shorter. This design choice is deliberate. It allows the aircraft to transport up to 80% of standard Russian military cargo without modification. Vehicles, artillery systems, missile components, and logistics pallets can be loaded without reconfiguration. The aircraft is designed to carry 12 tons over long distances or heavier loads over shorter ranges, as well as 90 paratroopers. This makes it ideal for rapid redeployment, airborne operations, and sustaining prolonged regional campaigns. From NATO's perspective, the IL-276 is not threatening because of its payload. It is threatening because of what it enables. It allows Russia to rotate units, replace destroyed equipment, and maintain operational tempo without exhausting frontline forces. In modern warfare, logistics equals power, and Russia is clearly reinforcing that pillar. But the IL-276 is only the opening move. The second aircraft announced is far more significant. The IL-100, unofficially known as the Elephant, is Russia's answer to one of its most critical vulnerabilities. For decades, the AN-124 Ruslan has been irreplaceable. It is the backbone of Russia's strategic airlift capability, capable of transporting tanks, missile systems, and oversized military equipment across continents. But the AN-124 depends on Ukrainian-produced engines. After industrial ties with Ukraine were severed, that dependency became a strategic liability. Russia explored options to localize production, revive old supply chains, or negotiate limited access. None of these paths were viable. The real obstacle was not the airframe, it was the engine. Without a domestic engine capable of matching the performance of the Ukrainian D-18T, Russia needed a completely new aircraft. That realization led to the IL-100 project. Developed as a fully Russian heavy transport aircraft, the IL-100 is designed to carry between 150 and 180 tons of cargo over distances of up to 7,000 kilometers. In raw terms, this exceeds the performance of the AN-124. The challenge has always been propulsion. The ultra-powerful PD-35 engine was initially intended for this role, but development delays forced a strategic adjustment. Russia is now focusing on the PD-26 engine, a less powerful but far more mature and reliable option. This choice reveals Russia's priorities. Speed and reliability now matter more than perfection. A slightly less capable aircraft that can be produced sooner is more valuable than a theoretical platform delayed indefinitely. For NATO planners, this signals something uncomfortable. Russia is rebuilding strategic mobility, not for symbolism, not for prestige, but for endurance. Heavy transport aircraft are what allow missile systems to be moved between theaters, Arctic deployments to be sustained, and long-range operations to remain viable under pressure. Then comes the third aircraft, and this is where many analysts make a mistake by dismissing it as civilian. The MS-21 passenger aircraft family is now being redesigned to use the same PD-26 engines developed for heavy military transports. On the surface, this looks inefficient. The MS-21 was originally designed around the more economical PD-14 engine, but sanctions changed the equation. Forced transitions to domestically produced composites and avionics increased aircraft weight, reducing range. Instead of accepting reduced capability, Russian engineers chose to redesign the aircraft entirely. The result is the MS-21-500 and MS-21-600 variants. Longer fuselages, redesigned wings, larger fuel tanks, and significantly more powerful engines. These aircraft are projected to carry up to 270 passengers over distances approaching 9,000 kilometers. More importantly, they unify civilian and military industry ecosystems. The same engines, similar avionics architecture, shared maintenance infrastructure. This is not accidental. This is how you sustain industrial output under sanctions. NATO planners recognize this pattern immediately. During the Cold War, Russia survived pressure not through technological superiority, but through industrial depth and redundancy. Russia appears to be returning to that doctrine. These three aircraft programs were announced not together by chance. They represent a coordinated effort to rebuild logistics, mobility, and industrial resilience simultaneously. This is why NATO finds this development alarming, not because these aircraft will bomb cities, but because they ensure Russia can fight longer than expected. Modern Western doctrine assumes wars are short, intense, and technologically decisive. Russia is preparing for something else entirely, a long war of endurance where production capacity matters more than individual platforms. The jets themselves may not appear over battlefields today, but they are already shaping the future of the conflict. Every transport aircraft delivered reduces Russia's vulnerability to attrition. Every factory expansion shortens recovery time from losses. This is not escalation in the dramatic sense, it is preparation, and preparation is often more dangerous than open aggression. If you want to understand how modern wars are actually decided, not by headlines, but by factories, logistics, and production lines, this is the level where the real conflict is unfolding. Missiles destroy targets, but industry decides who can keep firing them. This is NeuroIntelE, and this is the side of war most people never see.